Okay, so we're still solving rational equations, and we have 4 over x plus 5 plus 2 over x minus 5 equals 32 over x squared minus 25. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, since I have an x plus 5 here, and I'm going to put these in parentheses, and an x minus 5 here, I'm going to go ahead and factor x squared minus 25. And if you notice, it's the difference of two squares. So a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. So in this case, our x squared is x squared minus 5 squared. We rewrite 25 as 5 squared. So we get x plus 5, x minus 5. Okay? Since this is a rational equation and there are x's in the denominator, we also have to figure out which x values make the denominator 0 and make sure we eliminate those values in case it's one of the solutions, okay? So if you put your hand over the x and you think about what plus 5 is going to give you 0, it's a negative 5. So over here we'll just write x cannot equal negative 5, and also a positive 5 will give you 0, or positive 5. And the same goes here. If any one of these are 0, then that product is 0, and that is the zero product property. If AB equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0. Okay? Zero product property. I like to go back to the basic properties when they're being used to remind you that they all have, they show their face in these problems, okay? All right, so now we know x cannot equal negative 5 or 5, so that if we get an x equals 5 or negative 5, we know that there's no solution. Okay, so now we need a common denominator to multiply each term by, so that we can cancel these denominators out in order to rid ourselves of the fractions. So since we have an x plus 5 here, an x minus 5 here, and then an x plus 5 times an x minus 5 here, this is actually our common denominator. Okay? So we're going to multiply this by x plus 5, x minus 5. It's kind of a large one, but we'll be all right. Notice I'm putting it with the numerator. Okay, so in this case, the x plus 5 is going to cancel, and I'm left with 4 times x minus 5. In this case, x minus 5 is going to cancel, and I'm left with plus 2 times x plus 5 left over. In this case, all of it cancels, and I'm just left with 32. So here's our new equation. No fractions, right? Distributive property here and here, combine like terms. So we get 4x minus 20 plus 2x plus 10 equals 32. Combining like terms, 4x and 2x, 6x. Sometimes I cross them out once I use them. Negative 20, positive 10 is a negative 10 equals 32. Now we have a number here and a number here. We want to move this number over. So we're going to, add a 10. 6x equals 42. Divided by 6, divided by 6. Whatever the coefficient of x is, that's what you divide by. So we get an x equals 7. Notice it's not a negative 5 or 5, so we're okay. I am going to do a quick check for you, though. Check. So go back to the original equation and plug 7 in wherever you see an x. So you get 4 over 7 plus 5 plus 2 over 7 minus 5 equals 32 over 7 squared minus 25, which that is 49 minus 25, which is going to be 24, okay, in the denominator there. So we're going to get 4/12. All I did was add the 7 plus 5. plus 2 over 2, and we know that equals 1, right? Equals 32 over 24. Let's reduce our fractions. This is 4 times 1. This is 4 times 3. Cancel out your 4's. You're left with 1 over 3. Now, since that's a 3 in the denominator there, and I'm adding this 1 to it, I'm actually going to change that 1 back to a 3 over 3. Okay, and I can do that because 3 over 3 is 1. So is 2 over 2, so is the number 1. So all 3 of these have the same value. Equals 32 is 8 times 4, 24 is 8 times 3. The 8's cancel, and you're left with 4/3. And look, this equals 4/3. So you get 4/3 equals 4/3. So you got a true statement. That means x minus 7 is the solution to that equation. So that is your answer. Okay. Thank you. Hope you learned something. Bye.